How did you end up here? What was the process? And you, of course, had got to know Kim Beazley, had an association with him, had a crack at federal politics.
Thank goodness I didn't win.
In state. Talk us through. That's a massive transition from your previous career.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't. When I got out, I didn't want to swap one uniform for another, and end up down here on a corporate ladder, choking through another human organisation. So I wanted to do my own business. I wanted to start a business, and I did a lot of research and made concrete products, paving and that sort of stuff for hard landscaping products. I'll never do startup manufacturing ever again, don't get me wrong, but at that time it was a building boom in 2004-5 and onwards, and so if you couldn't make $1 out of that, you were never going to make $1 out of anything. So that was the thing. But also I noticed when I got out, I had a fairly cloistered life, as you do. Even though you're here in your hometown, you move in a different orbit. And as a result, I thought, I just need to widen my circles. And I was always interested in politics. I'd done a Masters of International Studies and all that sort of stuff. So, and very much entwined with the way the Defence Force operates for the government. But I just decided I was interested in politics. I had to sit down and actually map out where my politics lay, because the Army is genuinely apolitical, might be biased towards a conservative thinking, but it's not. So I ended up on the left of the spectrum when I'd gone through that analysis, which is oddly, and I might come back to it, oddly tied to my experiences as an SAS soldier that led me to Labor. And so I wandered down the Fremantle branch of the ALP and joined up. The first meeting, I think we debated the rules of whether we could actually send a letter of congratulations to the Fremantle Cemetery Board as a branch, but it was a hard-fought debate. The numbers won. The fix was in, it was done.
A new battleground.
A new battle. And I was hooked. But being in Parliament isn't the culmination of a lifelong professional ambition. It is something I see as an opportunity to, this is going to sound, I don't mind it having recorded because it's going to sound cheesy, but to me it's just a continuation of the public service I did in uniform, but as I say, in a bit of a different uniform. And one of the things is, I made a bit of money, lost a bit of money in business, and that was all good. And making money can be fun, and helping people get employed, it's really rewarding, but never as rewarding as serving a higher purpose. And that higher purpose, in this case, was the state through the seat of Willagee and now in government.
So there was an opportunity, of course, when Alan Carpenter, the former Premier, resigned from Parliament. His seat became available. How long did it take you to accept the challenge of, first of all, going through a pre-selection, but then, of course...
It was. So I had run in Stirling in the federal election. Kim Beazley asked me to run in 2007 election. He wasn't the leader at the time.
Against Michael Keenan?
Yeah, Michael Keenan, first term. And I'm blessed that I didn't win. Well, one of the other reasons to get in the army is spending so much time away with kids and things. And in hindsight, I realised that 20 weeks away from your family, plus if you're on committees or if you're a minister in the end, it's a hell of a burden, and I sort of dodged a bullet on that front, but it was in your blood. Once you'd campaigned once, you're stuffed. And so when Alan, when they lost the 2008 election, Alan gave me a call and said, "Look, I'm going to head off," because I grew up in that sort of district, and he said, "Why don't you put your hand up for this one?" And I said, "Right, I'll get back to you." 3 seconds later, I ran. One quick call to the wife, and it was done. And then we went through that whole sausage-making exercise of pre-selection and so on.